Hey, it's your afternoon girlfriend, Yvonne Daniels. Happy Tuesday. Happy Valentine's Day, if no one has told you. Man, I tell you what, thank you so much for joining me for another special Take a Deep Breath edition on this Tuesday. And we have got, I've been talking to him behind the scenes, just so excited. We could talk forever, but we're going to get into this conversation here. I've got, let me try the name again, Udo Erasmus.
Perfect.
Yay! So, once again, how are you doing this afternoon now, Udo?
Lovely, lovely day.
Yeah, yes, it
Yeah, it's
is.
morning where I am, but
I was going to ask you that. So now, where exactly are you?
West Coast.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
yeah,
the sun is
it's,
shining.
yeah. Well, it's
I
sunny
think
here.
I can hear the birds singing. I'm not sure.
That's always a great thing. Well, I tell you what, on this Valentine's Day, perfect day to talk about this, just talking about health and wellness. You've been in this game for quite a long time. So, I love it. I love health and wellness. And I think during this time, now on the West Coast, I don't know if it's quite like it. I am in Michigan. So here, we've got cold temperatures, but I just think around this time anyway, people are dealing with a cold and flu. And
Yeah,
I was just telling you how I had a couple of meetings that people just didn't kind of attend because everybody was out sick. And I'm like, this is
yeah,
crazy. So we know that there is a way to stay well during cold and flu season. So you're going to
yeah.
help us out with that, right?
Exactly. I have not had a cold for more than 3 years now.
Wow. That's cool. All right. So you know what you're
And
talking about.
and yes, it gets cold here, and people get flus, and people miss
Yeah.
meetings here, just like everywhere else.
Yeah, for sure.
But we
Wow.
shouldn't
Flu.
call it we shouldn't call it cold and flu season. We should call it vitamin D deficiency season.
Okay. And so you're saying that is so are you alluding to the fact that that is one of the reasons that they get sick during this time and
Yeah,
in your time?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Why is that? Why don't we get cold and flus in summer?
Mm,
Why only in winter? It's because the
right.
sun is lower.
Okay.
We don't get the vitamin D made in our skin from sunshine. So we have to then take it in the winter. I take 8,500 units of
Wow.
vitamin D every day, and I've been
Wow.
doing that for 3 years.
Okay.
And
Um,
that's the number one problem for getting colds and flus is not
okay.
enough vitamin D.
So
And the amount is quite high. Like people
yeah.
used to say to us when I started working in health over 40 years ago, people would say, the institutions would say 400 units of vitamin D a day, never more than 1,000. I'm taking 8,500. You can go up to 10,000, never have a problem. If you go too high, you can
Yeah.
have a problem. I've been doing 8,500 for 3 years,
Wow. Well,
and I have not had a cold.
and to that point, when you look at the supplements in the stores, I think you see about maybe 400, maybe 800. They don't ever go up that high that
Yeah,
I've seen. So
that's by the old measurements, and there
okay.
are still websites like medical websites that still
Hmm.
say 400 to 1,000.
Yeah.
But 20 years ago, it was figured out that vitamin D does a lot more than just teeth and bones.
Right.
Every
Right.
cell has vitamin D receptor. It's super important in respiratory health. It's super important in immune health, and not getting enough because of the northernness.
Mm-hmm.
In the tropics, the
Mm-hmm.
sun is always high enough that you get the difference too. The lighter
Okay.
your skin is, the less sun you need,
Mm,
and
right.
the darker your skin is, the more the sun is blocked out,
Okay.
because the dark people came from the tropics
Mm-hmm.
where there's almost too much sun. So we're
Okay.
going between too much sun in the tropics, not enough in the north. We need to take vitamin D in the north, and then in summer we can get it by baring our face and baring our chest and maybe running around naked on a beach,
Okay.
right?
Well, I tell you
Well,
what.
that'd be good for health.
Yeah. Yeah. That. Well, I tell you what though, since COVID, because I was used to be one that would drive and try and block the sun when I was driving, but now I kind of because they said that if you let the sun come in, if you let it hit you from one side, you know, that's going to help too. So I am very, very intentional about making sure that I get, a lot of sunlight, as much as I can whenever
Yeah,
it's out, during the day. So for
yeah,
sure. So
yep.
Is that the best? Okay, so the sunlight, taking the 8,000. So you take 8,000. So would you
Yeah.
say that a person needs to listen to their body, or would you just recommend that 8,000 is a good place to start for most
Take
people?
for adults between
Mhm.
5,000 and 10,000 units a
Okay.
day. If you're overweight, like
Yep.
if you're obese,
Hmm.
then you need more. Then
Okay.
you need 1.8 times more because it gets lost in your fat tissue and then is not so available to do its job.
Okay.
So it depends on, but I wouldn't exceed 10,000
Hmm.
except short term under supervision.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So we got vitamin D. That's so. Tell us some other ways that we can stay
Number
well during.
two,
Yes.
no sugar.
No
No
sugar. Yeah.
sugar.
Yeah.
Because sugar, if you take a teaspoon of sugar, it knocks down your immune system for 5 to 8 hours. And then
Mm.
what happens is in those 5 to 8 hours, any virus, bacteria, or
Yeah.
microbe
Yeah.
would love sugar. They
Yeah.
love sugar.
Hmm.
So they got fuel to grow, and they grow out of control because your
Yeah.
immune system is not stopping them. So that's the second thing.
Okay, so
Eat greens till they're coming out of your ears,
yes, yes.
and don't eat any sugar.
And so that includes, because I know people that uh, they don't count the sugar that's like in the smoothie they may be getting from different, the different fast food places.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah,
there's a lot of
yeah.
sugar.
And
Juices that you're drinking. Yeah.
and I would even cut down on fruit for the time that the virus is there.
Okay.
So
Okay.
and
Wow.
literally do it on
Yeah.
whole foods, mostly plant based,
Yep.
and green. The greener the better.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I love some good parsley and fresh watercress and
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Broccoli and
Yes, all that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Salads. Yeah,
Yes, all of that. All right, so no sugar, and we're doing vitamin D.
yeah.
Okay, all right, let's keep going.
Number
What?
three. Number
Yes.
three is to take enzymes, digestive enzymes that are
Okay.
rich in protease.
Yep.
These digest proteins, and most viruses have a protein coat.
Okay.
So if you take enzymes, and I'll take a capsule and I'll chew it up
Uh-huh.
and leave them in my mouth. Any virus they come in contact with,
Okay.
they digest the protein coat off the virus and
Right.
put it out of commission before it even can get in your cells.
Wow.
And that way you take a load off your immune system too.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Also, they help with digestion, and
Yep.
that takes a load off your immune system too, because when your digestion isn't being done properly, the immune
Right.
system has to get involved in digestion. And we were actually made for raw foods. So the digestive enzymes that we take
Mm-hmm.
are replacements for the digestive enzymes in raw foods that were damaged, that were destroyed when the
Mm-hmm.
foods got cooked, because
Wow.
cooking destroys the
Yep.
enzymes in raw
Yep.
foods.
Mm-hmm.
But we're supposed to be eating fresh, whole, raw, organic.
Right.
That's life's
Mm.
standard for
Right. Okay.
creatures that eat.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I try and do that as much as possible, but I do have to cook some of my stuff. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah. So
yeah.
then replace the enzymes.
Okay. So can people go to the store and maybe pull these enzymes off the shelves and buy them
There,
that way? Or
there are
okay.
different there are different kinds of enzymes.
Yep.
I use one that's called advanced adult digestive enzyme blend. It's made by a company called Flora. Very high in protein, a very, very good formula.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah.
So we got the enzymes, and
And
I think that's a game changer too. When you say that so let me ask you this really quickly. Is this something that, so would you suggest that when people start to even feel like a scratchy throat or something that can signal that, okay, you're not feeling the best, start right then, right? Go and start doing these things. Cut out your sugar, go get
yep,
your enzyme,
yep.
get your vitamin D, and you may get to the point where you don't have to get your immune system involved, which I think is a game
Well,
changer.
yeah, the immune system will get involved, but you
Yeah.
don't have to involve it. Once a virus gets in your cells,
Yeah.
it takes over your cell machinery and makes 200 to 300 copies of itself,
Hmm.
and then blows up the cell. And
Okay.
now you got 200 or 300 new viruses, each
Right.
looking for a cell to infect.
Right.
And
Wow.
why colds take 7 to 9 days? That happens so fast. The
Yeah.
immune system gets overwhelmed. Then it has
Hmm.
to back off and say, okay, what is this? And then it has to make antibodies against it, and that takes time. Then it
Right.
has to multiply all the cells with the antibodies, and
Yeah.
then it goes after it and cleans it up. That
Right.
takes 7 to 9 days,
Wow.
right?
So
And so you want to pick them off before they get in
yep.
your cells,
Yep.
so that your immune system doesn't have to do all that. It just has to do cleanup.
Cut the legs from under them.
Yep, right off. Cut them right off. And any proteins they make,
Right.
the viruses,
Right.
the proteases will digest those too.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
This is getting good. All right. Okay. Let's keep going. So we've got we just talked about the enzymes. So what's the next thing we need to do?
The fourth one is wash your nose.
Okay.
But not from the outside, from the inside.
Okay.
Your nose is like your armpits. Every
Mhm.
once in a while you need to clean your armpits,
Right.
right?
Yes.
I mean, everybody knows that. That's why I
Yeah.
use the example. Well,
Right.
your nose is like, it's just like it's like a passage. It's got all kinds of stuff in it, and
Mm-hmm.
it collects junk, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And one of the things it collects is snot, right? It gets made, and then you got to blow it out.
Yep.
But what if you ran water through your nose? There's a thing called lavage.
Okay.
I see it. You see it on the internet all the time now.
Right.
And basically, you run water in one nostril and
Okay.
run it out the other nostril.
Right.
And you're literally cleaning out everything that's in there.
Okay.
So if you got viruses in your respiratory tract, because that's where they start, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the back of your nose, well, you're washing them out.
Right.
And if you do that every day,
Mm-hmm.
you're again taking a big load off your immune system because you're taking them out while they're outside of the cells.
Now, is that every day while you are not feeling well, or just every day?
Well, some people do it every day. I'm not
Okay.
quite that OCD, but every day if you have a cold, if you got something going on,
Right.
and maybe once a week if you don't,
Right. Okay.
right?
Okay.
So
All right.
wash your nose.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This is really good. So go ahead. Did you have something else you wanted to?
Yeah, as I was going to go to the next one, but go ahead.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead. No, go ahead. To the
Yeah,
next
and then the other one is omega 3s. Omega
Okay.
3s are
Yeah.
essential nutrients. That means
Okay.
your body can't make them, but you have to have them, and they have to therefore come out from outside.
Right.
And we get omega 6 in all of our seeds and seed oils. Omega 3 is too low in 99% of the population.
Okay.
They don't get enough for optimum health.
Mhm.
So almost everybody is not getting enough omega 3s, but they're
Okay.
very sensitive. So they need to be made with health in mind.
Right.
And they inhibit inflammation.
Okay.
They're anti-inflammatory. They're also antioxidant. The immune system uses them to make hydrogen peroxide bullets or oxygen bullets to destroy things that need to be killed, which is microbes again.
Yeah.
And so that's also a really good idea. And that's that's my specialty.
Okay.
And if you go into a natural food store, health food store, and in a brown glass bottle, in a box, in the fridge, in the supplement section, in the health food stores, you will find an oil that is made from plants, organic, good balance of omega 3 and 6, and it's called Udo's oil.
Oh. Hey, Udo.
And you use about usually 2 to 4 tablespoons. You mix it in food and spread your intake out over the course of the day.
Oh,
and that helps with inflammation and inhibits inflammation and is helpful to support immune function. It gives the immune system more energy to do its job.
And I will say too, something else that I love them too. Hemp hearts and chia seeds, I've heard have also omega 3s. If it's something you want to add to your diet, so
chia seeds and flax.
Yep. Okay.
Are the seeds, but you have to blend them because if you eat the flax seeds, they literally, and you don't chew them up. If you swallow them whole, they'll go through your body and they'll come out the other end. You can plant them and they will still grow because they have a very strong shell.
Oh, wow.
And so you have to break that shell. Yeah. So put it in a blender drink or something like that.
With the flax, but with the chia seeds, I just sprinkle that on food and
I would do that with the chia seed as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get the fiber. You'll get the fiber from flax and chia seed. If you don't break it, you don't necessarily get the nutrients.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. I may have to start doing that now. Yeah. So, okay.
And you will notice if you take enough omega-3s, your skin becomes soft and velvety.
Really?
Because they help to form a barrier in the skin against the loss of moisture. And then your skin becomes really nice.
Really? Oh, I'm going to have to go out and buy some of that.
The best way to oil your skin is from within.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm loving this. All right. So, and I don't know if this is the last thing, but I know too that, I've heard herbs, and I love different herbs.
Yeah.
Is that something that we can put into the mix as well?
Yeah. Well, garlic obviously is a good one because not
Mhm.
only is it good for your immune system, it's also good for social distancing. Unless they ate garlic too, right?
Right.
So garlic is a big one. Ginger is really good.
Okay.
Elderberry
Hmm.
is really good,
Okay.
and so many.
Yeah.
Black seed is good,
Okay.
and cayenne is good,
Yeah.
and there's so many.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spices have so many health benefits.
And they
The
taste
spi-
good. They taste so good
Oh,
too.
they
So
make
it's like,
everything taste good. Yeah,
they
you know.
do. So,
Yeah,
wow, well, this is awesome.
yeah,
If you are listening, thank you so much for joining us. If you need to go back and or share this with someone that's been out sick and
yeah,
is coughing and hacking all over the place, let them know about this and
yep.
all these great tips
And
that Udo Erasmus has given us. So we
yeah, and
appreciate it. Go ahead.
I
Yeah.
forgot to mention turmeric.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
One of the best spices in the world. Turmeric.
Yes.
And then you can also, when you have a cold, and you get
Mhm.
all stuffed up, you can go in a sauna. And while you're in the sauna, it completely goes away.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
then when you leave the sauna and you cool off again, of course, it comes roaring back.
Right. Yeah.
But you can give yourself some relief, at least short term.
So really, and then start putting some of these things into practice. Your vitamin D,
Yeah,
cut out your sugar. Make sure you take your enzyme. Man, make sure that you are eating your herbs and all of that. And this is going to help. And you know what? And I'm one too. I don't get sick often. I do have an 11-year-old, so sometimes it's like but
yeah,
to be able to get this, knock it out before your immune system gets involved and before it gets into your cells is awesome. So
yeah,
we thank you so much. And you also have a book if people want to read that you wrote. It's called Fats That Heal, Fats That Kill.
yeah, yeah. Fats that heal, fats that kill.
Fats
Because
That
there are two
Kill.
stories on fats. There are
Yeah.
bad
Mhm.
fats you should avoid, and there are good
Yep.
fats that you need to bring in.
Yeah, that we need. So, all right. Well, we thank you so much for this information. We all need to know this. And I thank you for listening. We do, man, take a deep breath. If you want to get your merch, join the crew. Would love to have you. Go to yvonnedaniels.swagshop.com and we can all be a part of the crew. It is just so important to let people know too that, I take deep breaths. Those really help me too. A lot of times, if I'm not
Yep.
feeling, I will go in
Yeah. And
and
sitting still and getting rest and getting sleep, obviously really important for health. Yeah.
and your water.
And enjoying Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Very important.
Thank you so much, Udo.
Thank
I
you.
do appreciate it. All right. You have a great Valentine's Day and a great rest of your week.
Thank you, Yvonne.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.